I'm excited to talk some trade drama llama news because this is one that I've been on for a minute. The free agent market is starting to dry up on wide receiver 2. Evans, Higgins, Pittman all going back to their teams. Should the New York Jets explore a trade for Courtland Sutton? Jets! Now, my favorite wide receiver. This is number 1 on my list, the one that I'm hoping shakes free. And this could be via trade or it could be via free agency. It kind of depends how it shakes out. And that is Courtland Sutton.
So is there someone that you can kind of predict, and these things are hard to predict, that could shake loose that no one really expects?
Courtland Sutton.
There we go.
From Denver. That is my guy. 6'4", big body dude. Denver is in cap hell. They are 25 million, 24 million over the cap right now. Now, I want to get into this second player. This is one who's not set to hit the market as far as free agency necessarily, and that's Courtland Sutton, the wide receiver out of Denver. If you guys have been following the channel, you know I've been pounding the table for Courtland Sutton. I've been saying this guy's going to get traded for a while or potentially a salary cap cut, one or the other. But I've been on Courtland Sutton for a hot minute, and now it seems like the rest of the Jet universe is finally starting to catch on, and I'm really excited about this. I want to go into Courtland Sutton. I want to talk about his statistics, where all this stuff started from a trade rumor perspective, what a trade package could look like, what his contract's going to look like, and what a potential starting offense could look like if you make the trade that I would like the Jets to make. And I'm going to provide 2 different trade packages that you guys can take a look at towards the tail end of this video, but I'm very, very excited to get into this. Now, where did this all start? This started back at the beginning of January. Courtland Sutton posted this to his Instagram. Broncos country, I'm very grateful to be able to have finished off another season here in Denver. Unfortunately, we weren't able to accomplish our main goal. I'm still grateful for all my teammates and support staff that have been riding with me all season. I know all things happen for a reason, and I trust in God's plans over everything, including whatever is next for me. Just know I gave everything to this team and organization every time I stepped on the field. All love, 14. So when he posted that, I said from the beginning, this guy seems like he's out in Denver. He either knows he's going to be a salary cap cut or he's going to wind up getting traded. And now we see recently he has removed the Denver Broncos from all social media platforms. So now the gear starts spinning. Everyone's like, oh, he's definitely not going to be available. Very, very excited. As far as his statistics go, he has been solid. Solid number 2 wide receiver, and I think he complements what Garrett Wilson already is on our current roster. Now, you see this past year, 10 touchdowns with 772 yards. That is an all-time high for him. Usually sitting somewhere in like the 5 to 6 touchdown range, but with Aaron Rodgers, probably could be a little bit different, especially with the rest of the weapons we have on offense here. So I am very, very excited for this. And now, as far as what his contract would be, if he's traded, the New York Jets or whatever team is taking on this contract would have him for 2 years. 1 year at $13.6 million and 1 year at $14 million, which is perfect considering where wide receiver contracts are currently going. You have the option to possibly compete with 31 other teams for Calvin Ridley, and he's going to be getting like $20 million a year. And like, is he necessarily that much better than Courtland Sutton? Maybe a tick up, but for the $7 million difference that you're going to have, I would rather have him, actually it's $14 million over the course of 2 years if you were to consider that as Ridley a 2-year contract, not even like a 4 or 5 year contract if that's what he ends up getting. But you would save $7 million over each of the next 2 years that you could potentially add a starting guard or additional, defensive tackle or whatever, safety. You can have all these extra options because of the salary cap space that Courtland Sutton's contract provides you. And I have been all sorts of excited about this. As far as his injury history, is he going to be available for us? Is he going to stay on the field? As far as his injury history is concerned, he's really only missed, 4 games? 3 games. He's missed 3 games since 2020 when he tore his MCL and ACL. So the guy's been largely healthy for the most part. And look, a lot of his statistics over the course of the last few years have been hampered down from bad quarterback play. It wasn't until this year where he got relatively decent quarterback play out of Russell Wilson where he had 10 touchdowns. So I'm very excited for the upside that Courtland Sutton provides. Now, you may be saying, does this make sense for the New York Jets? Nathaniel Hackett was there as his head coach 2 years ago. What was his relationship with him? Well, this is the only little red flag that I've come across that might be a knock against Sutton potentially reuniting with Nathaniel Hackett here in New York. And that is what Courtland Sutton posted to his, I believe it was Twitter or Instagram, reasons apology form for Russell Wilson. He posted this in the middle of the season or somewhere around November. And this little tick box right here, this top one, the media convinced me that Russ was the problem, not Hackett. So If this is one that he legitimately made from top to bottom, then this is maybe him throwing a little bit of shade at Nathaniel Hackett, saying, well, Nathaniel Hackett was the problem. Now, I will say this. I think a lot less people would be concerned about Nathaniel Hackett if Aaron Rodgers was actually throwing the ball in Denver, which is what the original plan was when Hackett signed as the head coach over there. Aaron Rodgers wound up going back to Green Bay on a new contract. Fast forward to today, he's now in New York with Nathaniel Hackett. So maybe Courtland Sutton isn't so salty at Nathaniel Hackett as much as it is more so the situation of Hackett trying to lead an offense, which we all saw last year, which just didn't make any damn sense. But Aaron Rodgers at the helm, this could be a totally different situation. Now, I've got 2 trade packages that I think the New York Jets should strongly consider, and I would be making offers either one. The first one of our 2 fourth-round picks, plus Zach Wilson, plus a conditional 2025 pick based on performance from Courtland Sutton. That way it protects the Jets in some capacity if he just does not do anything whatsoever. I do think you're going to have to give up more than just the 4th-round pick. The Zach Wilson thing's more just a throw-in. I think the Broncos are going to need some competition at quarterback anyway, and whether that's them drafting J.J. McCarthy in the 1st round or rolling with someone like a Zach Wilson for a year while they wait on Russell Wilson's dead cap to kind of eliminate itself, that may be a potential option as well. So throw-in pick there. Conditional pick based on performance. The other option, and the one I've been saying we should definitely be looking at, I would give up our 3rd-round pick, Zach Wilson, plus a conditional pick in 2025 if they're willing to throw in Garrett Bowles, their left tackle. You're telling me in one trade the Jets can solve left tackle 1, wide receiver 2, and then that opens you up to all sorts of possibilities in free agency and the draft because Garrett Bowles' contract is $16 million. Or $17 million. It's not like a crazy amount, but he's on a 1-year deal. So if you bring him in and you restructure it, all of a sudden that cap hit drops even lower than it already is. So I really like that option a lot because then it frees up your number 10 pick to really do whatever you want. Now imagine a starting lineup. This is what your offense could potentially look like in the near future, and it's not even that crazy. Rodgers starting quarterback, Hall, a rookie, plus Izzy as your running backs. Wilson, Sutton, maybe a Curtis Samuel signing in free agency since you're not going crazy at everything else. Curtis Samuel from Brooklyn may want to come back home and play for his hometown New York Jets. Then you got tight ends Conklin, Ruckert, and your Boa. Maybe you throw in a Zach Kuntz in there if you want to talk about him. Potentially, if you figure out another offensive tackle in free agency, then you could, maybe play with the whole Bowers thing. Then you got a whole lot of weapons on offense. But then you got Bowles as your left tackle, Tittman at center, AVT left guard, maybe a Zeitler at right guard, and Fuaga in the draft. And this is really only with 2 free agent signings and 1 trade. That's what the Jets could do. I would be all about this. This makes all the damn sense in the world. I think this is 100% the direction the New York Jets should go in terms of wide receiver. You're talking a 6'4" body that can go up and help you in the red zone that the Jets have been just crippled with in the last few years. We haven't been able to punch it in when we're inside the 20s, and Courtland Sutton is going to provide you that level of comfort. Not to mention just the massive contested catch, wide catch radius frame that he's going to provide on top of throwing the ball down the field. You get some jump ball situations. I love this. You're getting people that can absolutely attack every level of a defense, and Courtland Sutton just seems to complement everyone so well in this scenario. Boys and girls, let me know your thoughts on Courtland Sutton. Are you high on a trade for Courtland Sutton? Are you like me? Have you been with the whole Courtland Sutton train for a while? Let me know in the comment section down below, and as always, go Jets. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like and subscribe button on these videos. It goes a long way towards growing the channel. And then occasionally I get sponsors like this. So if you want to help support the sponsor of the channel, or maybe just get yourself some cool gear or some good discounts, you can click the link in the description down below. Today's sponsor, 𝐀𝐟𝐼𝐥𝐢𝐚, is going to give you 25% off your order using promo code JetsTalk. Link in the description down below. They've got gummies, THC syrup, THC seltzers. I just discovered these things. They are incredible. As someone who has been trying to cut down a little bit of their alcohol consumption and not, maybe feel as crummy the next day, this has been a godsend for me. Keep me nice and calm, cool, and collected, especially with all the hurdles that our Jets throw our way and all the headaches that we got to deal with as fans. So if you guys want to help support the channel, maybe get yourself a little bit of a discount as well. Support the sponsor of the channel, 𝐀𝐟𝐼𝐥𝐢𝐚. Thank you so much for watching the show.